We're going to look at how to configure our smart forms in this session. This is particularly useful for anybody working out in a community where we have set up smart forms specific to that community. You wouldn't be able to see them unless you go in and enable them before you start work. So we're going to start at our EMR launch page, and up at the top we have three tabs: Home, Maintenance and Reports. We're going to go into the tab called Maintenance. Single click on this tab and it's going to open up another area of the system. Directly below the word maintenance is an option to configure my smart forms. We're going to click once where it says configure my smart forms. And that opens my smart form screen where I can set the forms as my favorites and enable those that are hidden. I'm just going to maximize this screen so that I can see a little bit more information. And I'm also going to come to the middle here where there is a line in the middle. I'm going to hover over and just drag this line slightly over so that I can see the full description of the smart form here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by looking for the forms for Betchico. I'm going to come here and I'm going to put on my filter documents form. And because all the forms for Betchico start BEH, I'm going to just type BEH in on my filter area, and you can see that everything with those letters start to appear in a list below. You can see under this column that says enabled, some items are checked off. That means they're visible to you when you actually go to use the smart forms from a patient's chart. But the ones unchecked mean that they are hidden from view, and you wouldn't be able to use these smart forms until you enable them, because you wouldn't be able to find them. What we're going to do is we're going to enable these smart forms, and then we're going to mark them as favorites as well. So to enable them, we just single click in each of the little squares here and just make sure there's a little check mark appear alongside each one of these forms. That means now that they are no longer hidden from view, and so you would be able to find them and use them. The next thing we're going to do is to put them in your favorites list, because that makes it a lot easier to find them later on. So I'm going to single click on the bottom one, and you can see up at the top here we have an option to add to favorites. I'm going to click once on the add to favorites button, and I'm going to keep going up through the screens, adding them to the favorites until I've got them all in. Unfortunately, you have to do this one at a time. There is no option to be able to multiple add to favorites. So it's a matter of clicking on each of the forms one at a time and click the add to favorites button until you have them all done. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to scroll up to the top, and you can see under favorites I have all the forms that I've added to my favorites.